Welcome to Beat Diabetes, where we share insights and testimonies related to overcoming that monster that has attacked your health and your life. On today's edition, we'll hear from a lady who had all kinds of problems and found to her delight that by fixing her metabolic issues and changing her diet, all kinds of problems were resolved. And Benedict and I will share how we fared during that terrible once-in-a-lifetime Texas storm that hit our state really hard last week. A week ago, last Tuesday, Benedict and I were in a real mess. We had lost our water, our power went out that morning, and everything really looked bad. It was about 0 degrees outside, and the house was getting colder and colder. What to do? Well, because video production is a big part of what we do, we decided to make a little video in our cold, dark house. But after Benedicta looked at it later, she decided that video must not ever see the light of day. She didn't feel like her makeup was right. It was too early in the morning for her to look her Benedicta best, and so she vetoed me using that video. But several days later, we made another video outside our house in our backyard talking about the victories we were seeing at that point, and she allowed me to share at least that. So, let's go to that video right now. Well, we are coming to you from our backyard, and sweetie, when we made that last video, we were in a mess, weren't we?
Yes, we were in a real mess. It was dark.
It was dark. It was getting cold. We had no water. We had no
power, no electricity.
No electricity, no power at all.
No internet.
No internet, no nothing.
No nothing.
Except the Lord and each other.
Except the Lord and us.
So that was on a Tuesday morning. So we are here to report good news. In fact, I'd call it great news.
Great news.
And that is, we actually only had to do without power for the better part of a day. By around 4:30 that Tuesday afternoon, we got our electricity back.
Yes. It was really a relief. Like we were really happy when the electricity came back.
But the water was a different story. That water was stubborn. It went off on Monday afternoon. It stayed off.
I refused to come back up till today, in the afternoon, kind of, the thing came back.
Yeah, so it was off Monday afternoon, all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday, all day Thursday, part of Friday, which is today. And then in the afternoon, I was in my study, I was in my office, and Benedicta said, Hey, the water is here. It was really kind of mind-blowing, something like I was so happy, and then I couldn't wait to run upstairs and tell Dennis, like, the water is back. Anyway, we thank you for your concern. For us, several of you have been concerned, wondered how we were doing. The answer is we're doing fine. All right, well, this is from a lady. She says, my feet used to feel like I was walking on needles, and my ankles would swell. It was uncomfortable and embarrassing. Since my doctor recommended the keto diet, whoa, stop. Did I just read that right? Since my doctor recommended the keto diet, well, maybe there's hope for this world after all. She says, my life has changed. No more of those problems. What problems? Well, neuropathy, the feeling that she's walking on needles, which has got to be painful, and the swelling of the feet, or ankles. She says, I've lost 30 pounds, and apparently her husband has been in this journey with her. She says, my husband has dropped even more weight, and his thyroid issues have gone away. He's in perfect health now. Thank you. Well, it's so cool the way that many other afflictions besides the high glucose go away when we get everything under control, when we beat diabetes, when we bring our glucose down, our insulin levels down. Things that we never expected, and you can't really find necessarily a lot of studies that show why it works this way. You just know it does. So many things fix themselves or get fixed when you bring the glucose and the insulin down, when you start eating the low-carb way of life, and you do some time-restricted eating, and you limit how often or how much time in the day you're going to eat. And as she said, thyroid problems got fixed. The feeling of walking on pins or needles got fixed. Ankle swelling got fixed. People talk about being free from irritable bowel syndrome for the first time in years and years and years. Amazing how much gets fixed when you start eating low carb and bringing those levels down. It's almost as though this metabolic syndrome is far bigger than we ever realized. And it affects more than just the classic diabetic. It can affect all kinds of other issues as well. One illustration I could get, imagine that you've moved into a house, you're renting a house, an older house, and to your horror, you find out that house has rats. Small rats, but nevertheless rats. And you're seeing them ever so often, a rat in the bedroom, a rat in the bathroom, a rat in the kitchen. You just rats. And so you get yourself a big basket full of rocks and you start throwing rocks at those rats. This is an illustration, granted. And you get pretty good. After a while, you're able to kill quite a number of rats by throwing those rocks at them. But no matter how many rats you kill with your rocks, more rats appear. More rats appear. Rats in the bathroom, rats in the bedroom, rats in the kitchen, rats in the living room, rats under the couch. And you've killed dozens of them, and there's still more. You say, why aren't we seeing a reduction in our rat population in this house? And after a while, you think, I think I need to check some of these areas that I've never really looked into in this rented house that I'm in. So you go up into the attic, and there's a little small wardrobe, an old wardrobe, and you open it. And there inside that wardrobe is the biggest of all the rats you've ever seen. It is the mama rat. And you understand what's been happening. Mama rat has been giving birth to all these baby rats. And they're everywhere. And no matter how many you kill, mama can still give birth to more and more baby rats. And so you kill mama rat. And now, when you kill those baby rats, those smaller ones, the population doesn't keep increasing anymore. It goes down, 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 and finally there's not a rat in the place because mama is dead. Mama rat is gone, and all the baby rats are killed, and all is well. No more rats. None. Well, that's kind of how metabolic syndrome is. It is the mother of so many afflictions in the human condition. It is behind so many things I don't think we can even imagine. We don't even understand yet how serious it is. And in some cases, people don't have diabetes, technically, by their A1C, but they've got all kinds of other issues that are coming from the same rat, the metabolic syndrome. And when you get your glucose down and your insulin down and you do some intermittent fasting and you burn off the fat from your liver and burn off the fat from your pancreas and your metabolic system becomes more and more efficient, you've just killed mama rat. And you are going to be so much better. And you're going to find things get fixed and afflictions you've lived with for years are suddenly gone because the source has been wiped out. Okay. Well, I'm a minister, and we ministers love to use illustrations. Here's a comment from a person who says, this channel has changed my life. I feel so much better than a few months ago. And the bonus is I've lost weight. I was 277, now I'm 259. Well, that's not a huge reduction, but that's significant. He says, I'm not radical with this. I just cut out basic things like bread, pasta, rice, potatoes, soda, and so forth. I do occasionally have a low-carb wrap, or I think he's talking about a tortilla, low-carb tortilla. If I went radical, I believe I'd be less than 259, but I'm happy with the progress, and I'm still going. I like what he says. He says, well, I'm not too radical with this. I just cut out bread, pasta, rice, potatoes, soda, and so forth. A lot of people would call that radical. A lot of people say, you're very radical. But I guess radical is in the eye of the beholder. But when you think about it, how can you not take it seriously when you have metabolic syndrome, you have diabetes? Of course, it's time to get a bit radical. Now, I think he's like, well, I could do more, but I'm making good progress. And the thing of it is, he's going the right direction. And I always emphasize, if you're going the right direction, I'm going to pat you on the back. You may not be there yet, and you may still have some issues. But if you're moving the right direction, you're doing very well. And that's what we all need to do. So he says, I'm happy with the progress I'm making, and I'm still going. Love it. Love it. He's making progress. He's still going. All right, well, that is it for now. I hope you enjoyed this, and hope that you will give it a thumbs up. Why do we always ask for thumbs up? Not because we're such egotists that we love to look and see how many likes we got, but because YouTube notices that, and they will promote videos that get more thumbs up rather than those that don't. It's not the only thing they look at, but it is one of the things. I hope also you'll consider subscribing to this channel, and that way, if you click that bell, you'll be notified when we post new videos. God bless. See you again soon.